You are about to hear something that might disturb you before it frees you. Someone is in love with you. Not casually interested, not slightly attracted, not mildly curious. In love. And the reason you cannot see it is not because they are hiding, it is because you are looking in the wrong direction. You keep scanning the horizon for someone louder, someone more obvious, someone who fits the image in your mind of what love should look like. But love rarely announces itself with fireworks. Sometimes it waits quietly. Sometimes it stands closer than you think. Sometimes it has been there long enough that you stopped noticing. You will not believe who is in love with you. And when you hear the first letter, it will shock you. But before we get there, you need to understand something deeper about human psychology. We are trained to chase intensity. We are wired to crave excitement. We confuse unpredictability with passion. We confuse anxiety with chemistry. We mistake inconsistency for depth. And because of that confusion, we often overlook the love that feels calm, the love that feels stable, the love that feels certain. Let me ask you something. Who shows up for you consistently? Who checks in without needing something in return? Who listens to you fully? Who remembers small details you once mentioned in passing? Who supports your growth even when it does not directly benefit them? Who defends your name when you are not in the room? Who sees your flaws and stays anyway? You think love looks dramatic, but real love looks patient, and patience is quiet. There is someone in your life who lights up when you walk into the room. Not dramatically, not theatrically, but subtly. Their posture shifts, their eyes soften, their voice changes. They lean in slightly. They care about your mood. They care about your day. They care about how you are feeling even when you pretend everything is fine. But because they do not overwhelm you, you overlook them. Because they do not create chaos, you do not feel adrenaline around them. Because they are stable, you assume they will always be there. And the human mind does something dangerous when it assumes permanence. It stops appreciating. Psychologically, familiarity reduces emotional intensity. The more accessible something feels, the less the brain categorizes it as urgent. So the love that is closest to you often feels the least urgent, and that is why you do not see it. But let me take you deeper. There is someone who notices when you pull away, someone who senses when your energy shifts, someone who overanalyzes your messages not because they are insecure, but because they care, someone who wonders if you are happy, someone who replays conversations with you in their mind, someone who feels a quiet sting when you give attention to others. But they hide it. They hide it because they respect you. They hide it because they fear losing you. They hide it because they would rather stay close as a friend than risk distance through confession. And here is the part that will shock you. The first letter is Y. You. Yes. The person in love with you more deeply than you realize is you. Not in a narcissistic way, not in an arrogant way, but in a forgotten way. You are in love with your potential. You are in love with the version of yourself you have not fully embraced. You are in love with the way you imagine someone seeing you. And because you have not fully chosen yourself, you keep searching for external proof of worth. You chase people who are unsure about you because their validation feels like confirmation. You overlook people who adore you because their admiration feels too easy. You crave intensity because intensity distracts you from the discomfort of self-acceptance. But the truth is this. The moment you genuinely fall in love with yourself, your standards shift, your energy shifts, your presence shifts, and suddenly the person who has quietly loved you becomes more visible. Because you no longer need love to feel complete. You recognize it without desperation. There is someone around you who feels safe in your presence, who trusts you deeply, who believes in your character, but you have been too distracted chasing something louder to notice. You are drawn to people who make you question yourself, who make you feel uncertain, who make you earn affection, and your nervous system mistakes that anxiety for passion. But the person who loves you does not make you anxious. They make you calm. and calm feels boring to someone addicted to emotional roller coasters, psychology shows that when people are used to inconsistency, stability feels unfamiliar. And unfamiliar can feel unexciting. But long term love is built on familiarity and safety. There is someone who watches you choose others over them and says nothing. Someone who swallows disappointment quietly. Someone who tells themselves they just want you to be happy. Someone who believes that if it is meant to happen, it will. They do not compete. They do not pressure. They do not force. They simply remain. And remaining is powerful. But because they remain, you assume they always will. An assumption breeds blindness. You overlook the way their eyes linger on you. You overlook how quickly they respond to your messages. You overlook how their mood shifts depending on your energy. You overlook how they defend you even when you are wrong. You overlook how they are proud of your achievements. You overlook how they subtly prioritize you. Because they are consistent, and consistency feels ordinary until it is gone. Let me say something that might change your perspective. The person who loves you is not trying to impress you. They are trying to understand you. They are not trying to win you. They are trying to support you. They are not trying to overwhelm you. They are trying to respect you. And respect often disguises itself as distance because they refuse to cross boundaries. They refuse to manipulate. They refuse to play games. And in a world full of games, sincerity can feel invisible. But here is the deeper layer. You cannot fully recognize someone else's love until you stop running from your own reflection. When you are insecure, you distrust genuine affection. You question it, you test it, you doubt it. But when you are secure, you feel it immediately. You accept it calmly. You reciprocate it naturally. There is someone in your life who would choose you without hesitation, but you hesitate because you are waiting for a bigger spark, a louder signal, a more dramatic story. And while you wait for fireworks, you ignore the steady flame that could warm you for a lifetime. Ask yourself this: who would answer your call at 2 in the morning? Who celebrates your success without envy? Who forgives you quickly? Who stays when others drift? Who feels comfortable sitting in silence with you? Who does not need constant entertainment to enjoy your company? That person is not casual. That person is invested. An investment without demand is rare. The first letter shocked you because you expected a name. But love begins with you. When you love yourself fully, you stop chasing those who are uncertain. You start noticing those who are consistent. You stop mistaking chaos for chemistry. You start valuing peace. And suddenly the person who has quietly loved you becomes impossible to ignore. You see their effort, you feel their warmth, you appreciate their patience, and you realize they were never invisible. You were distracted. Here is the most powerful truth: the one who loves you most consistently might not confess loudly. They might not make grand gestures, but they will show up again and again, without applause, without recognition, without guarantees. And one day, when you slow down enough to truly observe, you will see it, not through words, but through patterns, through presence, through loyalty. And in that moment, you will understand something profound. Love was never missing. You were just looking for it in the wrong place. So before you chase the next thrilling connection, pause. Look around. Look within. Ask yourself who feels steady, who feels safe, who feels genuine. And ask yourself whether you have been overlooking something extraordinary because it did not arrive wrapped in drama. You will not believe who is in love with you. The first letter is Y. Because until you choose yourself, you will keep missing the one who quietly chooses you. And once you choose yourself fully, love stops being something you chase. It becomes something you recognize. It becomes something you attract. It becomes something you honor. And when that shift happens, you will never again overlook the person who stands close, loving you silently, patiently, and deeply.